So anyways, we stay the night at the hunter's cabin, and there's much conversation, and he to be had, and he cooks us dinner and treats us to his ale, and he talks about the current bandit problem that's been going on and all sorts of stuff, right? And comes time where we all kind of get to sleep and everything, and a little while goes by, you know, more than a few hours, I'd probably say, and Azadel, our tiefling, wakes up in like the middle of the night to notice um, Edgar leaving his cabin. She's like, "Where the hell is he going?" She's like, "You're not sure, he told you clearly to, stay in because there's a lot of weird shit that goes on around the woods, and if you're not familiar, just get yourself lost again and probably hurt." She's like, "Yeah." He's like, got truffles with him. I guess that's true. And so she kind of decides to stay up for kind of the rest of the night, actually. Originally, it's just a bit to see, he's coming back. She's like, she's worried about him. But like a couple hours go by, and she starts to hear squealing. Like the squealing of a boar, a pig, in the wilderness behind the cabin, like far off into the distance. And she's like, "Oh shit, that's probably Truffles." It's like, "I hope he's okay." David's like, "Yeah, well, that's what you hear. What do you want to do?" He's like, I think I'm gonna wake everybody up." Okay, we wake up and like, "What is it? What? Come on." And she basically lets us know what's up, and that she's very concerned, and that she thinks she heard Truffles like squealing out for help or something. So we try to go out there and search around the wooded areas, kind of close to the cabin, with it still in sight, because you don't know where we are. You're not going to go wandering around the woods in the middle of the fucking night. That's just stupid. Okay. You ever with a party that says walk around the woods that you're fairly unfamiliar with, even with a map, like if you're very unfamiliar with it, and your party's like, "Well, let's go wandering around this section of thick woods in the middle of the night instead of staying at camp." Say no. It can only lead to bad things. Uh, so yeah, we don't get too far from the cabin. And of course, we don't spot anything, and we've got two fucking rangers on our team. Nobody sees anything really. So after a while, just kind of have to be like, "Well, wait here for him. He's hurt. There's not much we can do about it other than that. There's no telling as to where he's gone off, and Mac and Tollum over here are unable to, trace his tracks. It's almost like he was, and our DM David, he's like, "Yeah, it's almost as if though he was covering them purposely, because you can't find anything." That's kind of weird, but maybe he's a hunter, and he's just paranoid about that sort of thing. Who the fuck knows, right? So we wait back at the cabin, and we wait and wait, make some coffee from his kitchen, because why the fuck not? While we're up, we might as well raid his kitchen and make ourselves a pot. And eventually, the sun comes up, and sure enough, as the sun comes up, he comes out. His clothes are just all fucked up and shredded and stuff like that, and he looks kind of exhausted. And Rojo's with him, but Rojo kind of looks fine. We all go out and like, hey, you okay, man? What the fuck happened? He's like, oh, long fucking story. Just let's just say there's been a problem with a local mountain cat out here, and just trying to find out where it might be staying for the night and sleeping. Needless to say, got the jump on me, and thankfully I'm not too torn up or anything like that. It's like, oh yeah, check for to see if he needs any medical attention. It's like, no, it just seems like his clothes are kind of jacked up. He's like, if you excuse me, it changed up. He's full of mud and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I need to get changed and get some rest. Fell down the side of the hill when it jumped me. I don't know where the mountain cat ended up, but when I woke up, it wasn't anywhere near. I fell down with it. Last thing I heard was last thing I heard was Truffles crying out for me. Rojo is actually another boar in another campaign. That's why I said that. Yeah, Rojo, completely different boar in a completely different campaign. But yeah, he's like, the last thing I heard was Truffles calling out for me. Then I woke up and headed back up the hill. Checked to see if I was fine. And so far, I haven't really noticed anything, but I'd really like a change of clothes and a shower. And he's like, if you two have someplace, if you guys have someplace to be, you can go ahead and head on out, Like, all right, man. Yeah, sure. And he goes in, and you're like, well, he looks fine and everything. We've kind of got a job to do. There's some of us who are kind of on the fence about leaving him there. Some of us who are like, you know what, we can come back and check on him. I mean, he gave us this map, right? Like, I guess. And so eventually we all decide to, head out and take care of the bandits. He kind of marked the general vicinity of where these bandits were going to be. Where this rundown, temple was. Or these ruins. And a couple hours of really hard, trucking it across the wilderness and everything. Eventually we come up to this place, and we're treated to this sight of these bandits patrolling out near this place. Fucking instantly, Hermes is just kind of letting everybody know that this is not a good idea. Of course, we're not, he's kind of tugging on people's clothing and stuff. Maybe we should double think this, maybe we should come up with a plan or something, just, it's not like he could talk or anything, but it's kind of the way he was acting was maybe we should think about this. So, naturally, we come up with this plan as to where we're going to send the sorcerers in first, right? And cause this kind of diversion and maybe take out a few of them if they can, right? So we just we come up with this plan where basically what ends up happening is that one of them causes the obscuring mist spell and kind of, or no, both of them do, because both of them have the ability, and they kind of combine their obscuring mist to kind of obscure the entire area. And then they use detect, what is it? detect magic on these people because they see that some of these people have enchanted items, and so they use detect magic in order to kind of target them out within the mist, and then they're just like kind of taking them out left and right, one by one, because bandits don't know what the fuck's going on, right? And Clayton was using what was it, like fire orb, and fire orb, I guess, yeah, it is. It's a bit different than fireball, where you can like control where it goes. And so he was using that to control where it goes, and he's like bouncing it off of a few of them. And Asdale, our tiefling, she was real fond about like throwing acid at people. Mint acid or something like that. It was either spell. No, it had to have been because I don't think she had anything like in bottle form or anything like that. But yeah, no, she was throwing acid on people left and right, and we're trying to get in the mix and everything, but like it's hard for us to really see what's going on in the mist. And by the time the mist clears, I shit you not, they take care of everybody. And there's like 6 people there. And this wizard and this sorcerer just go to town on them. And I mean, granted, this is a good plan, very well executed, And yeah, they just took care of business. So pretty cool moment, actually. And that's when we all head inside. Stupidly, in fact, we just kind of like march in there as a group because we're like, oh well, whatever forces they got in there, and not gonna stand up to a group of us. We're kind of getting a little full of ourselves, right? And in fact, once we open the door, it's like this really old school, originally built into this ruin or whatever, like circular, like stone tablet door that rolls open and close, and we find the switch and we open it, and we light some torches and stuff because it's kind of dark. We realize that there's not really anybody like in the main portion of this temple. Like you're probably further down, right? And we all stupidly head in there because we're feeling good about how things are going, and whatever. And in fact, the only one smart enough to stay behind is, of course, Hermes. He's not having any part of going in there. He's just like, nah. And we head in there, and sure enough, the damn thing closes behind us. And we're kind of stuck in there because we can't find a switch on the inside. And we're all looking for this fucking switch, right? And as we're all looking for this switch, sure enough, out of the fucking shadows comes a group of ghouls that they had, I guess, guarding this place. And it's time to fight.